Tonight our invocation will be provided by Reverend Brian Hovey from the interim pastor of First Presbyterian Church. And then we'll have our Pledge of Allegiance provided by or led by Boy Scout Troop 59. If you would, please stand with me.
Let us gather ourselves for prayer. Gracious God, we thank you for these individuals who have answered your call to serve your people in this community. We know, Lord God, that the decisions this body makes will not please everyone, but when these decisions are guided by your wisdom, your knowledge of human condition, we must trust that you know best. We pray tonight, Lord God, that this body and the community that they serve will do your will. We ask that as they study the decisions that they must make, that they do so with an open heart and a clear mind. Guide them, Lord God, to be strong in their actions that will benefit both those who live on the margins of society and those who serve the community with their leadership. We pray these things in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Two.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council, Mount Holly. I miss y'all when I'm not here. Appreciate you letting me come back. Quick word if I may. I don't know if y'all noticed, time of year, season maybe, a lot of people out jogging and running the streets and the sidewalks. Now I want to share you my philosophy with that. I walk any trail you put in front of me, but I firmly believe God put me on this earth with so many heartbeats. I'm not going to waste any of them running around in circles. So if you ever see me out running on the streets, you might want to join me because there's probably something chasing me. Thank y'all for letting us be here.
Thank you, Rick. You don't have to be the fastest when the bear chases you. Just don't relax. That's right. You can. Thank you, Troop 59. Always here every month to support our meetings. We appreciate you always being here for us. And Rick, you are missed when you're not here.
Yes.
Thank you.
I want to remind everyone, as you walk in, there's a sign-up sheet for public comment. We ask that you limit your comments to 3 minutes. And we will not respond to any questions. We will take that information, and our staff will get back to you and present to council any ideas or information we need to move forward on any actionable items. So I want to remind you of that. The next item is to set the agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda? I have a motion by Mr. Bishop, second by Mr. Golan. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. The agenda is approved. Next item is our consent agenda. We have 5 items. Are there any questions?
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Golan, second by Ms. Briere. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. The consent agenda is approved. I would ask the City Council to join me on the floor in honoring Casey Eichfeld. If you would. Mr. Eichfeld. I don't know if everybody knows who this is, but you're going to find out who he is. Pretty amazing young man who lives in Mount Holly. And I want to present a resolution honoring Olympian and Mount Holly resident Casey Eichfeld. Whereas for the past 7 years, Mount Holly has been the home of two-time Olympian and world-class slalom canoer Casey Eichfeld, who has just returned from finishing 4th place in the C1 competition of the 2015 ICF Canoe Slalom World Championships in London. And whereas Casey began to love canoeing at age 2, began canoe slalom racing at age 5, and has progressed to become one of the top competitors in the world. And whereas Casey, when home in Mount Holly, can often be seen paddling from his home at Riverfront along the Catawba to his place of employment at the Whitewater Center. Saves on gas. And whereas Casey had the unique and unforgettable experience at the age of 18 of competing in the doubles canoe C2 event in the Beijing Summer Olympics, and at the age of 22 competed in the slalom single canoe C1 at the London Olympics. And whereas Casey won 2 gold medals at the Pan Am Games held in Minden, Ontario, Canada on July 19, 2015, 1 in the men's single canoe and 1 in the men's double canoe competition. And whereas Casey treats racing as a job as well as his passion, and is well aware of the mental and physical demands of the training, travel, and scheduling that precedes each competition. And whereas the next stop on his road to the Rio 2016 Olympics is the Rio 2016 test event to be held next month. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Mayor and City Council call upon all of our citizens to recognize the great achievements of our own Casey Eichfeld and to join together to cheer his efforts to make his dream as an Olympian gold medalist come true in the sport that he holds so dear to his heart, this, the 12th day of October 2015. Because you really don't need a key for a car, we have a key to the city that we'd like to present to you. It really doesn't fit a lot, but it is nice to have. So there's the key to the city, and we also have some pins that you can wear in Rio so you can let people know where you're from. I'm from Mount Holly, by golly. Here, I can take that for you. Thank you so much. Yes, sir. I know our city council would love to shake your hand and congratulate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's give him another round of applause. Well, thank you for being in Mount Holly. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, good luck. Thank you very much. That was unique. You don't always get to meet an Olympian. That was pretty cool. So the next item on our agenda is a presentation from Mount Holly Arts and Business Collective. Jeff Lee.
Good evening. Thank you for having me tonight. I guess my comments tonight are not only from our business collective, but also from the Downtown Revitalization Committee and the Holly Community Development Foundation as a private business owner downtown as well. One of the things I've had the pleasure of attending the Main Street Programs state convention or state meeting 2 years in a row. One of the things that they seem to be a key ingredients in most of these communities who have revitalized the downtowns or really active is they would come in third place with their citizens. Home and work is kind of primary places, but there's also a place where you have community. And after Food Truck Friday, it just really struck me how important the 4th of July event was, which was really amazing from not only a business perspective, but hearing my customers come in and talk about how proud they were of the 4th of July event. And honestly, that Food Truck Friday, I don't know, people are still talking about. And I I just want to come here and let you know how proud I am of the city staff. They did a phenomenal job. They planned this thing out. It wasn't even until the next day. I went to the ATM machine at Wells, deposited my checks from the previous day, and it's out of cash. And then I started just thinking about all the things that went into this Food Truck Friday. They had in between two ATMs, which obviously was important. The grassy area fenced in for kids. Parents felt safe where the kids zone. And then I had the privilege of watching this go on because it's right on my business, which was great. They had food trucks. They also planned to have a beer and wine back off the street in the patio area. And what you saw was people were waiting for their food. They were just congregating. There was just a large crowd of people. They were just enjoying conversation and having a good time. I just really feel like that. And I was really happy to see that we're doing it again. And I just felt like we, as a city, y'all have taken that opportunity to create an atmosphere in the heart of the city that residents and people in the surrounding area can think of Mount Holly as a place to enjoy life. And to me, that is like the biggest public relations campaign we can do. When people enjoy going downtown, they're going to continue to come downtown to find out what else is down there. And I just wanted, I really wanted to express sincere thankfulness for the city really taking a strong role in this, because I can see it. And when you have customers come in and tell you how much they enjoy the event, you know you get out of the line. That's what y'all do. And that's from business owner standpoint. From the Mount Holly Community Development Foundation, we made a presentation back late spring about the Christmas tree and the kiosk. We are fundraising. We have sowed a lot of seeds, and we really think the next couple of weeks we'll see some major contributions come in, so we'll have more information. We may be about, one contributor is going to probably contribute about a third of the kiosk, and then Tracy a significant contribution as well. We're also working with the Art Business Collective. We're having a meeting tomorrow night to do a charity event, so hopefully we can promote downtown business as well as raise more money for the Christmas tree. We're not going to obviously have a new tree for this year, but we do feel confident with some developments that we've had over the last couple of weeks that it's feasible to have a tree in place for next year. So, but like I said, my main thing, I just wanted to tell y'all thank you for investing in creating a community spirit. This is not really about necessarily business. You know, a business owner cannot have 10 events to sustain their business or 5 or whatever. But when you build community pride, that's the elements that develop a sustainable business environment downtown. So thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. All right, thank you for coming to speak. Appreciate your kind words. We certainly thank our city staff for those events and making that happen, and certainly our residents for making it successful as well. Thank you. We now have a presentation from the Mount Holly Community Development Foundation, Wendy Foster.
Good evening. This might sound like a broken record, but that's okay. On behalf of the Mount Holly Community Development Foundation and the Mount Holly Art and Music Festival, we would like to thank you all for co-hosting the festival again this year. It was our eighth year, and while it takes a lot of planning to make that festival a success, without city involvement, it would not be possible. So, thanks Mayor Huff and City Council for approving and supporting the festival through your budgets. I know that is something that goes on every year, and we appreciate that. I want to say thanks to Chief Roper and Sergeant Kelly Bull and all the police that worked at the festival. We know that it's important that the festival vendors and attendees feel safe, and we appreciate their dedication to our safety. A real special thanks to David Clark and his crew for not only keeping the streets clean, but really pitching in to help us clear up the streets at the end of the festival when it was raining. The Street and Sanitation Department, they're top notch. And you've got some great employees there, and we're thankful for their help each and every year. While We all got a little soggy this year. The festival was still a success. Thank goodness we had the fortitude to buy rain insurance. Needless to say though, we had great musicians, we had great food vendors, great artists that braved the rain, and we had some great attendees to come in and they spent some money. In fact, I saw plenty of happy faces, including the fire department who came later on that afternoon, and I heard that they were really frequenting the food vendors, and so the food vendors are really happy that the fire department came on down. The 9th annual festival is scheduled for next year, September the 23rd and 24th, and we're going to start planning it next month. So we look forward to having another successful year next year without the rain. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate the efforts of the Mellon Community Development Foundation every year and all that you do in our community. Thank you so much. Chief Roper, do you have the list? Okay. Signed up under public comment. Chuck, I am going to do my best. You introduce yourself.
Yeah,
All right. The Gatingfeld?
the Graftonry.
The Gaffnery. Okay.
Old Carolina name.
That's right. Please state your name and address for the record, and then please make a comment.
Yes, my name is Chuck Graftonry. I'm a resident at 104 West Henry Street, the old water department for Mount Heights. I purchased the property a couple of years ago and am changing it from a former commercial property to a residence. I'm renovating that property. I've not doing a lot of changes to the physical outside of it. My issue today is with the speed limits in Catawba Heights. Old 273, the old Highway 273 runs down just south of me. And that speed limit is 35 miles per hour through that school zone. It extends to 45 miles per hour onto Belmont Abbey College. But the neighborhood just north of that, Catawba Heights, all that speed limit on Henry and Sherry, Belton, and I believe Margaret are 35 miles per hour. And I believe, in my view, your limit is 35, they're driving 45 or 50 miles an hour through there. Now, while I have sidewalks on my street, I would like to see a more walking, pedestrian-friendly neighborhood. People can get out, get to know each other. There is a local elementary school a few blocks from my house. And I'm not certain, but I believe that while there's a stop sign, the speed limit does not change on here near that school. So I would like to request that for consideration, that my neighborhood, like others, which are south of Catawba Heights, that are 25 miles per hour, and even north of me, over by the food line, which are 25 miles per hour, be congruent off of that old Highway 273, and through those neighborhoods, Catawba Heights especially, to be 25 miles per hour. And with signs, and I'm sure the city might even get a little revenue if we stop somebody who is speeding. So that's my issue. I thank you so much. I do have for your consideration having bought the old water department where people used to pay their bills. The sandpipe's still there. If y'all want to take it down, you're welcome to take it from the water tower. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you. The next item on our agenda is new business. Consideration approval of consultant firm for the feasibility study of city parks. Mark, Jessica.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. This past August, we advertised, sent out RFQs for firms that would like to do site plans for 2 city property park areas and possible expansion of the Tuck City Community Center. Project was advertised in the paper, we sent out to about 12, 15 firms. 4 firms responded. All 4 firms made a presentation to the Parks and Recreation Commission at their September meeting. The commission recommended 2 firms, McGill from Hickory and Alfred Benish and Company from Charlotte. And staff is looking for direction on how you wish to proceed with that recommendation.
Council, we have received the information on the firms. There are McGill and Benish. Benish, I'm sorry. I want to make sure we pronounce that. Benish and McGill. Does council have any questions, comments for Mr. Jusko? Mr. Cohen?
What was the basis in your choices of who you ranked first and second? Was it project background? Was it something that they said specifically?
The Recreation Commission ranked them that way. Of course, like McGill, we have not worked with in the past. Benish is formerly Site Solutions. We did our master plan in 2010, and some of the members felt comfortable with them. And in choosing McGill, they felt comfortable with their presentation.
Okay.
Did you contact anybody that's worked with McGill in the past?
Yes,
Who did you contact?
I called Cam Carpenter, Parks and Recreation Director apparently.
His comments?
Overall, he was satisfied. We had a few issues, but overall, he was satisfied with what he had done at Goat Island.
Okay. Mr. Hope?
These 2 firms, were these sub-offices located in Hickory and Charlotte, or these the home office?
Benish, the home office, I believe, is Illinois. I think this is their regional office. And McGill has offices in Hickory, Asheville, and a couple other places.
Where's their main office?
I think it's Hickory.
I will tell you, Mr. Jusko, I did contact a person over the project in Cramerton, because I know him. And his comments to me were that McGill was considerably over budget, did not maintain the budget, and it had significant turnover in their company and who we were working with, and that had not stabilized as of yet. So that might be something for the council to consider.
Sure. That was part of Mr. Carpenter's comment too, was the turnover.
I think sometimes the people you know are better than people you don't know. When you're looking at working with folks, sometimes that should be considered.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
One of the things that kind of stands out to me is we have had, I don't recall any negative issues working with Site Solutions. It seems that based on comments that Site Solutions might be a better alternative. I'm just going by what we've historically known them as, might be a better alternative in light of these comments and feedback that we've received here in the last few months.
Mr. Jackson, did you have something you want to say?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr.
Bill to the council. Just want to reiterate the fact that you got a recommendation from the Parks and Recreation Commission. Obviously, you have the authority to make whatever choice you see fit, being best. From a practical standpoint, it's been our history that those that we've worked with in the past, and have a good relationship with, obviously we feel more comfortable. That's not to say that McGill is not an adequate company. But again, I have to emphasize the practical standpoint. Benish, who used to be Site Solution, you're aware of their work as well. I just want to say that from a practical standpoint.
From another standpoint, are there other firms that, I mean, it's part of the process, I'm just asking the process here. If there are other firms that are recommended, is that something that we can do at this point, or is it now, we've done the RFP, these are the people that are responding, so these are the ones we choose from?
You would choose to open back up, and we could do that.
Mr. Jackson, I'm not suggesting that, I'm just asking as a point of reference.
Just for the sake of clear understanding, there are legal implications in terms of how you go about doing it. Can look for other companies as well, it's a process you have to go by. If that's what council wants staff to look into and doing that, you can certainly make sure we present that kind of information to the council as a whole.
Well, just a consideration, because we're looking at 3 major projects here. We're not just looking at one project. So when you negotiate with them, I think, is the thinking that if we do the 3 projects, then we're gonna get more cost-effective rates and pricing from them? Is that the reason? Because, you know, it's hard, if you did one project and didn't like them, then you could say, hey, we're not gonna use you for the other 2. Is that still a possibility?
That's correct.
So I just want to make that point. If we're not satisfied with their work, I don't want to have to work with them contractually if they're not doing the job. So I know that part of this is we're going to have 3 major projects going on. They're going to be working on feasibility studies, et cetera. If we're dissatisfied at any point, I'm sure when the negotiation of the contract is there, we can certainly take that. So there's always a way that rather than going out now, maybe a site finish is the correct firm. If that turns out to be the case, then we can always move forward if we needed to later. Just something to consider.
Is there a required timeline in selecting the firms?
No, sir.
There's nothing really pushing.
We'd like to get it done this budget year, there's no timeline.
Budget year.
You know, we think, from talking to the firms, they said the process for all 3 will be roughly 3 to 4 months. We're starting to finish.
1 second, go ahead.
One project.
Mr. Hope?
That was my question, was it's time of the essence to make this decision or not?
We're not sure.
Mr. Massey, did you want to make any comments or make any comments about this? And when I'm not trying to put you on the spot, it was
Well, I
asked.
think Mark has said it all there. We spent about 2.5 hours, I believe, on short notice that we would have, that this needed to be done, and we gave the attention about the same amount to each group there of the 4. And this was just our recommendations. We voted on them. We didn't all vote alike on them either, but he told you what how it came out. We have had more experience with the Dinesh group, which was Site Solutions, but that didn't necessarily make everybody vote that way. So I think we've done a good hearing session with all of them, and all of them had a chance to put out the parts that they wanted to present there. And there's quite a few in our area that they have said, y'all got copies of them, I guess, and see what they've done. There's one in my initial hometown too, and in Waxhaw. And so there's different ones who have liked them for one reason or another. But we've had a good relationship before with what it was called Hot Site Solutions, and I'm not saying how, but you can give them the way it voted out if you want to. But I think we've got some good people who will do us a good job on this, and we're certainly appreciative to the city fathers here and giving us a chance to present this. We think this is something that's going to mean a lot to Mount Holly and its growth, and hopefully fill some empty sections with recreation opportunities that they haven't had before.
Well, thank you for the work that you guys do. Our Park and Rec Commission has been recognized statewide, so you guys do a fantastic job. Thank you so much. Thank you for speaking. I appreciate it. Ms. Greer?
When McGill did the presentation for us, I think the reason they stood out so much was the fact that they broke each project down and they brought things out to us that really were outstanding and things that we would never have thought of. And they broke it down and talked about each project, and they were, as far as their presentation,
had talked about what was our biggest need out of these three, and I think it wound up being the tow center, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, that's probably gonna be the most costly, but, you know, that's part of the process of getting the information, the cost for, each individual, site plan. But, you know, all the, companies that came out, you know, they got, like Mr. Maxey said, they had 30 minutes each, and they talked about, you know, they gave us their best foot forward, and these two stood out, and as has been said, the Nish, which we've worked with really for years, Derek Williams in particular, they've always done a good job, and we've got a long-standing relationship with them. So, but there again, I don't think we have to make this decision tonight if we choose not to. We can always go back and look at a couple other firms, and you know, this is a big deal. This is a lot of money, and this is three big projects that we need to be very careful what we do and who we use to do it.
Mr. Hook?
The statement Mr. Massey made stands out in my mind that these projects will mean a lot to our city for the year. And I think we need to make sure that we're right on this decision.
I agree. You know, we don't want to necessarily delay them because we've been waiting for these projects for a while. But obviously, you know, council's decision on what you want to do, if you want to move forward or if you want to wait. We certainly could wait for more information from the firms if you wanted them to present to you. If you want any other information, certainly the council has the prerogative to ask staff for that, and I'm certain staff would be willing to do that. And this is no reflection on the Recreation Committee at all. Done a fantastic job. We just want to be certain to cover all our bases. So, any questions, comments out of this council field? Yes, sir, Mr. Goldman.
The question about possibly granting an RFQ or looking at other firms. To me, if somebody didn't want to bid on the initial project, or somebody came forward after they didn't bid on the project, I would have to wonder just how interested they actually were in it. You know, you might not get, maybe you don't get the top, very top of the cream, whatever, in the firms, but our Parks and Rec Commission does a good job, historically done a very good job of vetting out these companies. My only suggestion would be is that, you know, we follow in some way, shape, or form their guidance and not hold up the product.
Well, and certainly council can decide to make a motion, and we can act on it, or we don't have to take any action. That's up to you.
How unified was the rec committee?
McGill was the overwhelming, number one, and Banish was overwhelming number two.
Was it close?
No.
So basically, the ones that were third and fourth, they didn't even get a hand raise.
I think the one that was third might have got 1 or 2 seconds, and then Banish got the rest of the seconds, and might have got 1 first.
They rank them 1, 2, 3, 4.
1 and 2.
1 and 2. So they ranked them 1 and 2 and counted up.
Right.
First place, second place, right?
Everyone knew who number 4 was, and then, like I said, the one that was number 3 got a couple 2s, and Banish got a majority of 2s, and I think the one.
Okay. So the process from here would be if we select a firm, then Mr. Michael and staff would negotiate a contract.
Correct.
So that would still have to be done, even after you select a firm, there'd have to be a suitable contract to move forward. Ms. Brick?
There were some more, local, in North Carolina, places where McGill had worked, right?
Yes,
Raleigh.
they did Stings, Harper Park,
Which is a big thing.
which is a big thing. What else was there? There's a couple other ones around Charlotte.
Should we contact all of them and see if they were the same in all of them, or was it just a fluke that got out?
I think that would be a good idea to check both if council feels so led, if you've got Benish and McGill are your top two, clearly, then check more than a couple revisions and see how you come back and provide that for us. I think that's a great idea. I think that's a great idea.
I mean, Site Solutions, like we say, that's somebody that has a proven track record with us. But McGill, I think when they did their presentation, they just gave so much information that nobody else did. And maybe they're just good at presenting, but I'd like to know their whole background.
That's fair.
Mr. Mayor, one of the things that I think that McGill talked about was the construction, if we did an addition to the Tuck Center. We wouldn't build onto it, we'd actually have a separate building with a breezeway. And I think they just had a little bit more knowledge, a little bit more training, and they just have done that much more, I think, than Dinesh overall. So I think that's one of the reasons we look at them, a little bit more as far as one of the top two.
Yes.
But one of the things that he said, David, if you remember, he was talking about two buildings, but he said here again, you might have to have two employees if you were having two different, basketball games or whatever. You might have to have two employees at each one. So he said you might want to look at that. He just brought out things that, maybe we think of later, but I was interested.
But they talked about a main entrance with videos.
Right.
Video cameras, so
That's
you
right.
can
Yeah, they did.
watch both sides.
Those are obviously good ideas. Yeah. Mr. Hope?
Code changes after 10,000 square feet, I think that's probably one of the main improvements to buildings. Code affects construction quite different.
More requirements if they were to add on versus two separate buildings or architects.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Excellent. Good information. Is council okay with checking this out a little bit further with our references? Coming back with a recommendation at our next meeting in November, is that satisfactory? Okay. Thank you, Recreation Commission.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jusko. Next item on our agenda is consideration and approval of the business incentive grant to Time Flies. Mr. Bill? And Ms. Saunders?
Yeah, I'd like to introduce the chair of the Economic Development Committee, Andrew Saunders, who's been a tremendous help on this committee over the years since this incentive grant was started in June of 2011. So, they're going 4 years strong. So, we would like to bring to you tonight a request, a recommendation actually from the Incentive Review Committee for Time Flies Country Store to be located at 105 North Main Street. Essentially, you have all the background material in your packet. There was questions on this building, and obviously we have a building owner here. If you have any questions, Mr. Sean Wren. We also have Carol Helms and Garrett Helms here representing Sue, who could not be here. She had to go out of town. So this building has problems with the window, particularly out front. It would constantly fog up and steam up. It would cause moisture issues inside the store. Tenants came and went in this particular location. This has been on our radar for years, but there had never been a formal request until Time Flies. We felt, with the guidelines being what they were, this would be a perfect opportunity to get a much treasured business back in Mount Holly in a more manageable space. It is our unanimous recommendation that the council approve this business incentive grant for the amount of $14,032, I believe. $36, excuse me. As outlined in the project description. We'd be happy to answer any questions.
Does council have any questions from Mr. Bill or Ms. Saunders? Mr. Bishop?
Second.
So the motion
Approve as presented.
The motion to approve, the second by Mr. Moore. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Hope?
You know, it's brings great pleasure to me that, the owner of this building is homegrown, he's from Mount Holly. He grew up here, raised here, and it excites me that we have our own homegrown businessman here tonight, accepting this.
Thank you, Mr. Wren. It's the first time I've ever called you Mr. Wren. That's good. I want to thank Angie Saunders for your leadership on the EDC. I want to thank all the committee who has been so consistent. That's important to have consistent membership and leadership in that. I want to thank Mr. Bill for his work with that committee as well. It's been very effective. One other comment I wanted to make goes back to Ms. Foster's comment about Miles Braswell's staff. Miles would never take credit, ever, for that, and I appreciate that, but you can't beat those guys. They've done a tremendous job, Miles. Thank you, truly, specifically tonight. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion by Mr. Toomey, second by Mr. Moore. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. We are adjourned.